whatever we have studied till now, just in case you don't have a reference book, so from various reference book compilation, that material has been given to you. Get that? सबने देख लिया? Saurabh is saying sir, a lot of material. Okay, I hope that makes you happy. He said खूब सारा देते रहिए. But more than material, I hope you use the weekend to understand. So your questions. And today we are going to do some answer writing also. Get that? So आज basics we are done. Nearly 5-6 materials. Which was उनके title भी हैं. Don't just count the material. So we are done with that first round of basics. Yes or no? First 6 classes are basic. So आज let us test that also. Let us test. Are we able to write something or not? So I'll initiate you into answer writing. I will also look at your concept clarity. And if you have any questions, please ask. So I'm just uploading the questions. Sir, please look at my question. It went in comment section. So एक बार फिर से डाल दीजिए. I was looking at uploading the questions. उन्हें check कर रहा हूँ. So quickly, all students, any doubts in circulations? Any doubts in circulation? Atmospheric circulation, which we were doing. Sir, Purvi says, I read about subsidence inversion. It occurs when an high pressure area causes an air to subside and sink. Air compresses and dries out as it descends, allowing it to warm up. Sir, I did not understand how air will sink when ELR is greater than ALR. Is it mechanical sinking? Yes, obviously it is mechanical sinking. The air is cold. So please do not say that, like if ELR is more than that, so air will not sink. So ऐसे तो air will not rise also. So वो stability वाला इसमें confuse नहीं करना. Stability was that state of atmosphere in which if an air parcel is pushed up, it still has a tendency to come down. It has a tendency, but can we still push it against the tendency? तो ये तो उससे जुड़ा हुआ नहीं है. ये नहीं है कि atmosphere unstable है या stable है. It has got nothing to do with ELR. And tell me who gave you the data of ELR and ALR? Purvi, in this subsidence inversion, who gave you the data of ELR and ALR? आपने एक hypothetical question बनाया. How do you know about ELR and ALR? That is my question to you, Purvi. ELR, ALR, how do you know that ELR is more than ALR? So this is my first class, how to cover the previous classes with the current ongoing classes. Well, you revise them. There is a foundation. So you must be looking at that. First is the course orientation and blueprint. Immediately after this class, you should be looking at that lecture. जब ये course शुरू हुआ है. So on that day, we have a course orientation and blueprint. That is the session number 1. I don't know what your name is. It shows as Dine. So whatever your name is, तो आपको वो करना पड़ेगा. Purvi says no one. I just thought. So Purvi, गलत मत connection जोड़ो ना. ये तो hypothetical question हो गया. Simple air was sinking because it is coming down. Now you say sir, why when ELR is equal greater than ALR, how can air sink? अरे यार ये तो मतलब आप जबरदस्ती लेकर आ गए. So please don't do that. Just intellectual gymnastics. If you have some data, then do that. So that's very strange. ऐसे question के नाम का question मत बनाइए यार. This is science. अगर आपको if you wanted to do this, well, public administration, sociology are the ones. That is homosexuality. Okay, what would you do if you have a homosexual in your family? Are inter-caste, inter-religion marriages good? Are open relationships accepted in Indian society? Is गहराइयाँ impacting the society of India? ये सब उसमें अच्छा लगता है. यहाँ बैठे बैठे sinking of air. Sir, how can it sink if ELR is greater than ALR? Whereas it doesn't even exist. I don't know where you got that. So please. That is what I said, no? पहले सीधा सीधा अभी तो basic चल रहा है, इसीलिए PYQ is the question, PYQ is the yardstick on which you should be looking at. Sir, in controlling the wind, centripetal force in this, I get that centripetal force reduce the strength of Coriolis force and help in increasing the strength of PGF, but did not understand. तो कहाँ से आया centripetal force? I did not talk about centripetal force. Yes, I did not talk about centripetal force anywhere. एयर मोशन तो रूपा मेड सिंपल में आया, तो फिर मैंने आपसे कहा कि आप कहाँ से पढ़ते हैं वो तो बताइए ना. विदाउट रेफरेंस किसी को भी आप देखेंगे, किसी को भी समझ में नहीं आएगा. आप बैठे बैठे ये करना शुरू करेंगे तो nobody will get this. आपने कहाँ पढ़ा, किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में पढ़ा, what context you read, what did you understand? I've always said कि भाई at least put that. So everyone tell me one thing. You've heard of forces for winds. What are those forces? PGF, pressure gradient forces of wind, is a factor. Then frictional force and then Coriolis force. Get that? That is it. We have talked about this. Now somebody out of the blue says, sir, centripetal force तो समझ नहीं आया. And centripetal force or high pressure, low pressure, it is PGF. I never talked about it. You read it in a context. At least do that, no? True? Acha. Now, if I go into this, now that this question has come, so again saying, please do not send such questions which do not make sense to anyone in between. And I don't know whether it is just to show off or whether it is to genuinely get your doubt cleared. So you should be looking at that. Get that? So when the word centripetal and centrifugal comes, then definitely it has to do something with circular motion. Yes or no? So these are linear things, but this has to do something with circular motion. And where do winds circle? Any idea where, which circulation? Have we talked about any circular winds till now? Diane is saying, sir, so should I complete the foundation? Diane, it is for you to decide what time do you have. Are you doing other GS classes also or not? If you are not doing other GS classes, I would say you can do one foundation class in a day and this thing. But make sure you watch the two course orientation and discipline, course orientation and blueprint from the foundation class immediately. That should be done. Otherwise, you would not get what is the essence of it. है ना? तो भी किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा कि हमने यहाँ पर circular वो किया, तो circular कहाँ पर आएगा? So circular would be in a cyclone. So then you go for the course orientation and blueprint. Immediately watch after this. There you will get all the clarity on that. Let me focus on what people are talking about. Get that? So please have a look at that. And if you are doing 3 classes and you're asking me how do I manage 4th class, then there are so many students, I need to do justice to them. You please watch the course orientation and blueprint. There a mention about this has also been done. Thank you. So everyone, so cyclone की बात हो रही है. We are talking about cyclone. So cyclones, first of all, cyclone isobars are not like straight isobars. Cyclone isobars are closed isobars. Do we get that? So it might be, like it is 880 here, it is 900 here, and it is 920 here. So there is a huge distance. So what is the pressure gradient force? Pressure gradient force will be from where to where? From high to low. Can I say and perpendicular to the isobars? So this has to be the pressure gradient force. Yes or no? It is causing the air to move. It is causing the air to move in the center. It is causing the air to move in the center. Do we get that? Now, if this is northern hemisphere, yes or no? What will happen to the wind? It will be deflected to the right. It will be deflected to the right. The wind will come like this. This wind deflected to the right will come like this. This wind deflected to the right will come like this. So effectively, the wind which will be there will be like this or not? Will it cause the system to start rotating? Yes or no? And in which direction? Which direction will it rotate? Manish is saying how advection inversion plays a role in pollution. You told me that Delhi experienced more pollution due to this. Manish, please watch the lectures again. I never said that Delhi gets advection inversion. Okay? So please do not say that I told you. Please देख ले Manish. वो inversion वाली class दोबारा से देखें. I did not say that. In Delhi तो clearly radiation inversion होता है. So we are not talking about advection. तो ये नहीं करिए please. So everyone, are we looking at that? So we are looking at this. मैंने मुंबई में भी ऐसा कोई इन्वर्जन नहीं कहा, मैंने दिल्ली में कहा था. प्लीज मनीष नहीं करिए, आप प्लीज उसको देख लीजिए, दोबारा से देखिए. आपके पास मटेरियल भी वो हो चुका है, आप पढ़ भी नहीं रहे, आप सिर्फ उसको कर रहे हैं. हमने दिल्ली की बात नहीं की थी, मुंबई की बात नहीं की थी, हमने कनाडा की बात की थी. वो प्लीज आप देख लीजिए, आपको वो वैल्यूज के साथ मिल जाएगा, है ना. सो दैट वाज देयर. सो एवरीवन, इन नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर द एयर स्टार्ट्स सर्कुलेटिंग इन द एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन. इज एवरीवन ओके? तो ये हो गया एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन की हम बात कर रहे थे. दिस इज हाउ इट गोस. अब यहां पर a new force will come apart from PGF, apart from frictional force, apart from this force. There can be, because of this rotation, remember rotation does what? Centrifugal force. बाहर की तरफ आएगा ना. Will there be a force outside or not? होगा या नहीं होगा? Whenever something is rotating, so it has a tendency to, do we get that? वो बाहर की तरफ फेंकेगा. तब एक नई फोर्स आती है. This is called the centrifugal force. Centrifugal force. जब कोई चीज रोटेट कर रही होती है तो इट हैज अ टेंडेंसी टू थ्रो थिंग्स आउट. नो, दैट इज द सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स. सो एक मैकेनिकल फोर्स आएगा. नाउ दैट यू आस्क, यू सडनली सेड सेंट्रीफ्यूगल. मैंने कहा ना, कुछ भी लिख देते. अभी किसी ने लिख दिया कि सर वो मुंबई में एडवेक्शन नहीं समझा. भाई मुंबई था ही नहीं, इट वाज कनाडा. इट हैज टू बी वेरी कोल्ड लैंड सरफेस अबव व्हिच वार्म विल कम. बट ऐसे ही एक बार क्लास देखा है, वी हैव जस्ट वॉच द वीडियो वंस, न्यू थिंग्स. उसके बाद हाइपोथेटिकली सर हाउ कैन द एयर सिंक व्हेन ELR इज ग्रेटर देन ALR. वो भी रियल नहीं है. सो प्लीज डू नॉट डू ब्लैंक फिलोसफी इन ज्योग्राफी. दिस इज साइंस, दिस इज सिंपल साइंस. Everybody knows जब कोई चीज ऐसे रोटेट कर रही होती है तो उसका बाहर का एक मोशन होता है ना, सेंट्रीफ्यूगल मोशन. सो देयर विल बी अ फोर्स व्हिच इज पुलिंग आउट. यस और नो? अच्छा, अंदर कौन सी फोर्स बुला रही है? Which force is falling inside? PGF. Which force is going outside? Centrifugal force. What other forces are there? Coriolis force and frictional force. Coriolis force and frictional force. Yes or no? So now 4 हो गई. So रोटेशन में 4 हो जाती है. बट ऐसे बीच में पूछ लेना सर ये समझ में नहीं आया कैसे हुआ, वो अलग बात. And in the upper atmosphere, जब हम साइक्लोन पढ़ेंगे भी, in the upper atmosphere when we remove frictional force, so remember geostrophic wind. Geostrophic wind क्या होती है? A wind which is created as a result of balance between two forces. What are the two forces? Coriolis force and PGF. Now imagine if the air is circulating also, circle भी बना रहा है. So remember against PGF which force comes? Against PGF, which force comes if the air starts rotating? So centrifugal will come. So in that case, what will happen? Is this state of balance, these are balanced, will that be disturbed? Because one more vector will be added. Which vector? Centrifugal force. Will this balance be changed or not? If this balance is changed, then the air will try to restore the balance. Air will try to restore the balance. Now that is coming in higher meteorology. अभी देने की जरूरत नहीं. So please ऐसे बीच में आपने रैंडम क्वेश्चन पूछा, फिर से बता रहा हूँ, यश अगर किताब पढ़ रहे हैं, किताब पढ़ने का हौसला रखते हैं, तो प्लीज आई टोल्ड यू व्हाट टू डू विद इट. सडनली एक सेंटेंस लिख दिया सेंट्रीपिटल. आई नो वेयर द क्वेश्चन इज गोइंग, व्हाट हैज टू बी आंसर्ड, बट आई हैव अ रिक्वेस्ट. रैंडमली आप पढ़ रहे हैं, कहीं पर भी आप ELR इज ग्रेटर देन ALR लिख देंगे. दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग. This is not Sahitya, this is not literature. There are certain things which are possible, there are certain things which are not possible. So when the normal flow of air is happening from one isobar to other where rotational motion is not involved, then we will have only PGF, FF and CF. But if rotational motion is involved, then we can have a force which is called as centrifugal force also. ठीक है, अब किताब में देखें, और जहां आप पूछ रहे हो पहले भी बता चुके हैं यार. This is 6th class and despite the reminders that if you have a question, please mark it and tell what you have understood. ऐसे random नहीं पूछना शुरू करें. But since you asked, इसलिए वो कर दिया. Get that? I want to know how Delhi experience more pollution than Mumbai, sir. So Manish, ये क्वेश्चन आंसर हो चुका है, अभी नहीं ले रहे हैं. कभी डाउट वाउट में होगा तो आप ले लीजिएगा, नहीं तो आप वीडियो आप मान ही नहीं रहे, वो बात मेरी आप वो मान ही नहीं रहे, आपसे रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं उसे देख लीजिए, आप यहाँ पे वो कर रहे हैं. So that question has been answered. Why Delhi has pollution, more pollution? This has been answered many times in my GS classes also. This has been answered in many other classes also, which I've done a lot of time. ठीक है, so I'm not addressing this. Explain the role of evaporation in hydrological cycle. अब ये प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस हैं जिनकी हम बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. और मनीष अभी जो क्वेश्चन हुआ, जो अभी करंट एनवायरनमेंट की क्लास हुई है, वो भी आपने अटेंड नहीं की होगी, अभी कल हुई थी, उसमें भी हमने पोल्यूशन की बात की, ठीक है. तो आप नहीं समझ रहे, आप नहीं समझना चाह रहे, तो क्या करें फिर? आप बोलोगे सर इवेपोरेशन समझ नहीं आया, है ना. सो ये मत करिए, उसमें हमने पूरा बताया है. एवरीवन एक्सप्लेन, इसमें से क्वेश्चन लेना है. वी आर गोइंग टू राइट सम आंसर टुडे. सो कौन सा हम कर चुके हैं? Quickly explain the role of evaporation in hydrological cycle. Explain the role of evaporation in hydrological cycle. Everyone, this is the question. छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है, 15 मार्क्स में आया है, तो कैसे हैंडल करेंगे? You are given 2 sheets. तो ये कैसे हैंडल करेंगे? That is what I want us to talk about. Now that we have come to elementary things, rising air, sinking air, circulation of air, that is what I am talking about. So quickly बताइए इसमें क्या लिखना होगा? Everyone don't write a point on this. Take a blank paper and plan what would you write in this. Don't write the whole answer. You have 60 seconds for this, and then I will take over. So I watched your videos, but the classes, like you said, on pollution yesterday and also on other days, how to get update about that. Prajwal, if you are following my profile, I am sure all my classes are informed to you, है ना. Otherwise, आप अगर मेरे उस पर जाएंगे on the profile, what classes I've taken, you'll get to know. So monthly current affairs I take. So yesterday we talked about how Bombay got so polluted. Air quality of Bombay went to this high, which is not possible. So monthly current affairs होता है, मैंने ग्रुप पे भी अनाउंस किया, कल भी अनाउंस हुआ है. So Prajwal, please उसे follow करें. Everyone, please focus on the question. Prajwal says, I just enrolled, now I will follow. Yeah, Prajwal, you just enrolled to Unacademy. Maybe please get acquainted with how to follow the educator, how to get those updates. It's just a mechanical thing, but you'll get that. तो सीएससी ऐसे होगा नहीं ना, आपने अपने पॉइंट्स बताए नहीं, आप तो आंसर लिखने पहले मैं इंट्रो दूंगा, बॉडी दूंगा, आपने इंट्रो दिया. जस्ट टू रीड वन एवरीवन. Someone says I will give intro, some basic about water cycle. So I will give an introduction. In that I will give some basic about water cycle. अच्छा ठीक है, ये बताएंगे वाटर साइकिल के बारे में. उसके बाद एक डायग्राम बना दूंगा वाटर साइकिल ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन एंड कॉन्डेंसेशन. अ डायग्राम ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन एंड कॉन्डेंसेशन. ठीक है. देन इन बॉडी, अब मैं बॉडी लिखूंगा. बॉडी में क्या लिखेंगे? component of water cycle. What are the components of water cycle? Components of water cycle. And emphasis on evaporation. Emphasis on evaporation. Now this is everyone, this is a message to all of you. Never write answer like this. Never plan answer like this, because this answer has no power in it. There is no content in it. It's सिर्फ हवाबाजी है. कि component of water cycle होती क्या है? Evaporation happens, clouds form. Clouds में rain है, rain will fall and then it will come back. So evaporation, condensation, precipitation, that's it. इसमें कुछ है ही नहीं. Question है explain the role of evaporation in hydrological cycle. कुछ भी नहीं. अमित प्लीज ऐसे मत लिखो. रिक्वेस्ट है, दिस इज द लास्ट टाइम आई एम टेकिंग अ सेंटेंस लाइक दिस. या तो पूरा आंसर बताएंगे, नहीं तो नहीं मैं लेने वाला. फैक्टर्स इफेक्टिंग इवेपोरेशन. पूछा क्या? कुछ भी लिख दूंगा मैं वहां पर. फैक्टर्स इफेक्टिंग लिखूंगा मैं. क्यों लिखूंगा कोई मतलब नहीं, बट मैं लिख दूंगा. पूछा रोल ऑफ इवेपोरेशन, अब मैं लिखूंगा फैक्टर्स इफेक्टिंग. कहां पे लिखूंगा? वेयर विल आई राइट? व्हाई वुड आई राइट? कुछ नहीं. सो आंसर राइटिंग यहां फंस जाती है. बहुत से लोगों को ये पता है कि इंट्रो में कुछ कर दो और कुछ आगे कर दो, ना आगे जा रही है बॉडी ना कुछ हो रहा है. बट दैट्स व्हाट वी आर डूइंग. So 15 marks में, if we are talking about 15 marks, at least 5 to 6 dimensions will be needed or not? At least 5 to 6 dimensions will be needed. आप उधर हवाबाजी करके आ जाओगे. You do that and you don't get anything. You seriously don't get anything. So पहले क्या है? Explain. Explain means how and why. How and why. What role of what? Evaporation. Sheikh is saying, sir, we always end up writing what we know. So writing what I know versus writing what is asked. Yes or no? Which one will get you more marks? These are ready-made coaching promise answers. These are tailor-made answer to question asked. Yes or no? So अभी हम क्या करते हैं? जो समझ में आया भाई, इंट्रोडक्शन में कुछ कर देंगे, थोड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन फिलअप कर दो, थोड़ा ये फिलअप कर दो. That is how we go ahead and things happen. Priyank is saying evaporation is the process. Priyank, why did you waste time defining that? Why did you waste time? I don't know. Evaporation is the process by which water changes from a liquid to a gas. It is primary pathway that water moves from the liquid state back into water cycle as atmospheric vapor. Wow, Priyank, what do I do with this sentence? Amazing. I asked you, tell me the plan of this answer, and you write a fancy sentence. Amazing. क्या करें प्रियंक इसका? So प्रियंक आंसर देंगे तो यार कुछ मजा आएगा, तब तो आपको फीडबैक दें आपके उस पर, है ना? और प्रियंक ने कहा एंड डायग्राम. ओ भाई साहब, मतलब हिला डालेगा यार. So never do this, everyone. This beautiful sentence, do you see this? Evaporation is the process by which water change from a liquid to a gas. It is primary pathway that water moves from liquid state back into water cycle as atmospheric water vapor. Wow, it goes back into, मतलब back का मतलब मैं तो कह रहा हूँ यहाँ से start होती है, but it goes back into, and then you make a diagram and the examiner is floored. So Priyank, when do you plan to tell us about role of evaporation? वो तो ठीक है, डायग्राम आप बना के तोड़ दोगे, ये तो हो गया. अमेजिंग. सर सेम गूगल में दिया, बताओ यार, गूगल से छाप रहा है यार, कुछ तो शर्म करो यार. प्राइमरी पाथवे ने तो नहीं हिला दिया तुमको? Did you love that phrase, primary pathway? So you may be impressed by this. The examiner is not. He's not a fool, no. Primary pathway. Get that? Manish, you submit your plan. Anyone who's writing a sentence, क्या मैं ये कर सकता हूँ? कर सकता हूँ. आंसर लिखो. फंडा तो देना नहीं यहाँ पर. प्राइमरी पाथवे जिससे वो वापस जाता है, गूगल का छाप के एक लाइन और एक डायग्राम हो गया. डू यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई सो मेनी पीपल आर फेलिंग द एग्जामिनेशन? हाँ, क्लास में बहुत मजा आएगा, यही बता दिया, हो गया. अब चैलेंज इज इसमें मार्क्स कैसे आएगा. सो वेरी वेरी क्लियर रोल ऑफ इवेपोरेशन इन हाइड्रोलॉजिकल साइकिल. सो यहाँ पर दो व्हाट्स हैं. देयर आर टू व्हाट्स टू बी डेल्ट विद. देयर आर टू व्हाट्स टू बी डेल्ट विद इन दिस क्वेश्चन. देयर इज हाउ एंड व्हाई टू बी डेल्ट विद. एंड सिंस योर ज्योग्राफी, योर ऑप्शनल इज ज्योग्राफी, वेयर विल ऑलवेज बी देयर. ये क्वेश्चन है. आपको तो क्वेश्चन ही समझ नहीं आया. मनीष, क्या मैं सीधा रोल लिख दूं? पत्थर मार दो यार. तुम्हें तो ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा पोल्यूशन क्यों हो रहा है दिल्ली में ज्यादा? मैं सीधा रोल लिख दूं? क्या रोल है बताओ? बता दो, रोल बता दो. वो तक तो बताया नहीं है. वो तक तो बताया नहीं है. क्या रोल बताएगा यार? इवेपोरेशन में क्या रोल बताएगा? ये भी तो बताओ. रोल ऑफ इवेपोरेशन क्या करेगा? वो भी नहीं है. मैं सीधा लिख दूं? धमकाओ मत. मुझे पता है हाउ मच वी स्टैंड द वाटर, इसलिए आंसर राइटिंग पे बेसिक में ही क्लास ले लिया. So everyone, I would say that where does this whole idea come from? So planet Earth is an ecosystem in which biogeochemical cycles. Planet Earth is an ecosystem in which biogeochemical cycling continues. Hydrological cycle is one such type, and evaporation is its important component. Nothing fancy, nothing this thing. Earth है, Earth में biogeochemical cycles चलती रहती हैं, solid, liquid gases are there, and hydrological cycle is one of them, and evaporation is an important component. ये पूछा ना, role of evaporation in hydrological cycle. So my first sentence connects that. यही introduction भी है. Introduction में आपको बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसा नहीं करना होता कि आप उसमें बहुत सारे flowery language डालो. Now Rehan is saying simple and crisp definition. So Rehan, I have not defined it. Everyone, I have not defined it. Do we get that? Ashutosh, I am not taking your random sentences. Anyone who's sending random sentences, क्या ये भी डाल सकते हैं? क्या हम इसको साड़ी पहना सकते हैं? नहीं, टोपी पहना सकते हैं क्या? Write the answer and then talk to me. I said in the very beginning, this is the last time. कोई भी एक डायमेंशन देगा, एक डायमेंशन तो कोई भी दे देगा. एक डायमेंशन तो कोई भी दे देगा. आपको टाइम दिया कि आंसर प्लान करिए, do that, take a snapshot, डालो तो बात है. सर क्या ये भी डाल सकते हैं? बिल्कुल डाल सकते हैं. Can we say sir urban areas are losing because of deforestation, evaporation is getting problem? डाल सकते क्या? सनसनी क्यों मचा रहे हो? आंसर पूछा है. Ashutosh and all others not taking at all. Absolutely not taking. देखो impress करने के लिए precipitation salinity मार रहा है और उसने क्या कहा था, एक ने गूगल से उठाकर definition और diagram दे मारूंगा. ये सुनो यार, अगर मैं यही लेने लगा तो फंस गए. ये क्या बोल रहे थे? Primary pathway. So can we stop impressing everyone? Answer has to be right first. This is what we are talking about. So now when we are done with this, next we should be talking about, let us understand the hydrological cycle. Hydrological cycle. अब ये आंसर कैसा बन रहा है वो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. This answer is coming like this. So there is this introduction done. Have I read it out to you? Now I say hydrological cycle, and I start explaining hydrological cycle, and I draw a diagram on this itself. This is how hydrological cycle starts from hydrosphere to atmosphere to lithosphere, and it can go into ground also, ice also, that's it. And then I will put in evaporation as a component to, do we get that? First page में, half page में खत्म हो जाएगा. Now I will come to role of evaporation. Get that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get that? Spatial component of evaporation in hydrological cycle. 1, 2, and a box where I will put a map. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. ये इसका आंसर होगा. क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा है? Explain the role. तो ये जो पॉइंट होंगे 1, 2, 3, 4, here I will be putting explanation also. ये दोनों मैंने क्या किया यहाँ पर? What is hydrological cycle? What is evaporation? What is the connection? Why and how? Say for example, first will be evaporation. Evaporation is the link between hydrosphere and atmosphere. Get that? Second, evaporation is an instrument of heat exchange. How? Through latent heat transfer. Do we get that? Role of evaporation. Get that? Now we're talking about role of evaporation. Heat and humidity modifications happen because of that. Heat and humidity modification, I will give example over here. Say for example, I'm saying monsoon is humid air. Yes or no? When it reaches Indian subcontinent, it causes a lot of precipitation, changes the dry Indian air into humid air, and also brings respite from heat. Cooling effect करेगा कि नहीं करेगा? That is also we are going to do that. Next, weather events like tropical cyclones are driven by evaporation and condensation. The fuel for a tropical cyclone is water vapor. So if evaporation does not happen, water vapor does not happen. True or not? So that is what we are talking about. ये explain भी करना है क्योंकि उसने why and how किया ना. So link between hydrosphere and atmosphere, तो ये क्या हो रहा है? Exchange हो रहा है. Exchange is happening. Instrument of heat exchange. यहाँ पे तो instrument ये matter exchange हो रहा है. Yes or no? So that is what we are talking about. So weather evaporation, that has also happened. And iske baad, when we are talking about this last one, in last one I would want to bring in the aspect of human geography. Human geography से जल्दी से बताइए क्या करता है humidity? Evaporation. What does evaporation do in human geography? Loss of water. So loss of water, agriculture में, can I say demand for irrigation? Demand for irrigation can be found out. Demand for irrigation can be found out only if the data on evaporation is available. Yes or no? Evaporation with precipitation data helps us determine areas which are water surplus and areas which are water deficit and plan accordingly. Do we get that? अब हमें स्पेशियल दिखाना है, स्पेशियल दिखाना है. So heavy evaporation in the equatorial region leads to a cloudy belt at equator. Heavy evaporation, हमेशा क्लाउड रहता है उधर, इक्वेटर, ठीक है. और यहाँ पर desert is an opposite example where heat is there but lack of moisture, therefore no evaporation, not sufficient evaporation, therefore clear sky. So can I say evaporation decides how your cloud and precipitation will be there? We can give the example of a evaporation in equatorial region and the desert region, that can also be there. और यहाँ बॉक्स में क्या बनाएंगे, मैप बना देंगे. So map में equatorial region and the desert region, that can also be there. So Naman is saying water stress. Naman यही है ना, water surplus, water deficit. So everyone, अब इसको compare करते हैं with a proposed answer taken from Google or not. I don't know whether the person has his own language or Google answer. ठीक है. Evaporation is the process by which water change from a liquid to a gas. अब भाई water कोई gas में तो नहीं होता. Water changes from liquid to water vapor. चलिए, it is primary pathway that water moves from the liquid state back into the water cycle. एक बात बताइए, जब वो liquid state में है, then also it is in water cycle only. So it moves back and atmosphere, water vapor, and then I will draw a diagram. एक वो आंसर है. एक आंसर मैंने आपको ये भी बताया था. We will say, what will we say? We will write some basic about water cycle and we will draw the diagram. And then components of water cycle. What are components of water cycle? यही components हैं. क्या component है? Evaporation, condensation, precipitation. तो ये तो आप इतना से आंसर लिखने वाले थे. इतने से आंसर में क्या मार्क्स मिलेंगे? Rehan is saying maintain salinity of the ocean. Can we add? Rehan, it does not maintain the salinity of the ocean. Sorry, I want to tell you that. It may cause variation in salinity. Variations in salinity. Deepshika is saying in the second point, spatial is not clear. Deepshika, that means you don't know what is spatial. Spatial तो simply means a concept applied at different places. एक मैंने deserts का लगाया, दूसरा मैंने equatorial rainforest का लगाया. So इसमें spatial नहीं समझ में आना तो possible ही नहीं है. हाँ, second point में क्या हुआ? What were we trying to explain? That can be a question. That can be a question. But इसका second का spatial component समझ में नहीं आया. That tells me you don't know the meaning of spatial. Spatial means showing things in space. तो देखो space is 3D. 3D मत लेकर आओ. कोई ऐसा 3D नहीं. I simply said that evaporation can cause cloudy sky and lack of evaporation can cause clear sky. ये एक example था. That was on land. If you want to take on water, evaporation can impact the salinity variations of the ocean. वो भी हो सकता है. तो अब क्या होता है? अब the teacher is writing the answer and the students are becoming teachers. ठीक है, ये भी हो सकता था, वो भी हो सकता था. And then the learning is zero because your understanding concepts Google पे ज्यादा हैं और दिखाने की ज्यादा show off वाली ज्यादा हुआ है. So can I say एक और try करें? Correct? तो ये वाला करते हैं. Give an account of global distribution of precipitation. Rehan, ज्ञान मत दो, आंसर दो. Everyone, write on a sheet what is the plan of your answer. I am not going to take random 1 point, 2 point, 3 point ज्ञान के मन के जो आप बांट रहे हो. Yes or no? So quickly give an account of global distribution of precipitation. Everyone, you have full 2 minutes to think about it. Plan बनाएंगे on the paper. What are you going to write? Please plan seriously. Please write it down. Do not think in mind. So if you really think that the class should train you into answer writing, this is your first session on answer writing. Make as many errors you want, but on paper. No intellectualizing should come on paper. Don't forget that there is an element of where in this answer hidden. Every geography answer should have where. Where means where, the spatial part of it. Are we done, everyone? People who have done, you can take a snapshot. This is a good opportunity for you to get it evaluated. Also take a snapshot. हर एक आंसर के लिए मौका नहीं मिलेगा. जिन लोगों ने इसका फायदा उठाया, 2 minutes you really did that, so you get an opportunity to get it evaluated. I don't have option to post. Can I write here? भाई क्यों नहीं है option to post? ऐसा क्या हो गया? कौन से ऐप में कोई प्रॉब्लम है? जल्दी से the plan of your answer. Please share the plan of your answer. People who have written. So, एक प्लान हमारे पास आया डॉली से. बाकी लोग please share your plan. Assume that you just give me all intellectual stuff. बीच में एक एक लाइन मार के कोई आंसर वांसर लिखता नहीं उधर. और and this exercise is a waste of time, that I should not be doing that. So here are people who have one liners copied from Google to impress on the group that she is reading, but remember she is not she is he. जल्दी से भाई, आंसर तो मांगा ही नहीं ना पूर्वी, हमने तो प्लान मांगा था. अगर आप आंसर लिख रहे थे तो प्रॉब्लम है. प्लीज डोंट शेयर इनकम्प्लीट वंस. इफ यू वर राइटिंग अ प्लान, दैट्स समथिंग वर्थ शेयरिंग. चलिए, तो जिन्होंने शेयर किया, लेट्स नॉट वेट एनी फर्दर. And that is also a reality check for all the people who might feel that sir did not take my point. You are just a point thrower. You don't know how to write an answer. This is an invitation to learn answer writing. Don't throw points. एक दो पॉइंट तो सभी मार देते हैं. ऐसा ना सड़क पे किसी को मार पीट रहे हो, 2 लाख तुमने भी मार ली. आंसर लिखने के लिए कैरेक्टर चाहिए, पर्सनैलिटी चाहिए. If that is missing, please stop giving me all that ज्ञान. So give an account of global distribution of precipitation. Precipitation, different form of precipitation, different type of precipitation, global distribution of precipitation, world map, impact of variation of precipitation, division in high rainfall, medium rainfall. Okay, makes sense. Good try. Good try, Dolly. Saurabh has sent something. Let us look at that. So give an account of global precipitation. देखो बहुत से लोग ये करेंगे कि ये इन्होंने मैप बनाया. Precipitation are stages of hydrological cycle, which is absolutely wrong. This shows this person does not read anything at home and vary from place to place. 0 marks. Get that? Saurabh, please be serious. चलिए नेक्स्ट देखते हैं और किसका है. यश का देखते हैं. So everyone, do we understand why we are not learning answer writing? Because we actually don't write anything. Give an account of global. So I gave 2 minutes for this. ये case study दे रहे हैं. Case study चाहिए नहीं, पहले आंसर दो. Direction of wind. क्या पूछ रहे हैं? Centripetal, centrifugal. They can't write a simple answer. They're asking me centripetal, centrifugal. So भाई, sorry, this is not the answer. This is absolutely not the answer. Dolly ने एक बहुत अच्छी शुरुआत की. That was good. This was very very disappointing. जिसने भी भेजा ये. So this tells me that there are many people in the class who will talk about answer writing and all. I should not, first of all, discuss answer writing. Second thing is, please do not talk to me on answer writing from now onwards. I will choose when to. And I remember there's a challenger group 5 students from the previous batch. I also would get to know how serious you are. है ना, ये centripetal और ये सब आंसर टाइम काफी 5th क्लास है ना, बड़ा लोगों ने impress किया and all that. You can read their answers. Many of you them you hear no on the group, they are talking a lot big things and all. You can read their answer. So several factors affect variation of precipitation, different areas. Very good start. जिसने भी किया ये major classification of world into precipitation. Major classification तो नहीं होगा, ये आपने थोड़ा सा अच्छा ट्राई किया है, स्पेशल ट्राई किया है. Good, I will say 30%. Good try, on the right track. जिसने भी किया, very good, right track. See, some of you might feel अरे सर तो कमी निकालते हैं, जो अच्छा कर रहा है, very very supportive of that you have done it seriously. This is non-serious effort. This shows very badly about the person who has submitted this. This one is another non-serious effort. So this shows जो गलत है उसको गलत बोल दे भाई. I am objective on this. The people who are taking Deepshika, very good baby start for that. Amazing, बहुत अच्छा काम किया. सोच है आपके पास, आप समझ रहे हैं. And this is worth investing the time. No more submissions, please. No more. जो हो गया उसी टाइम था. कुछ लोग लगे हाथ देख देख के लिख रहे हैं. बिल्कुल नहीं ले रहा हूं मैं. No more submissions. ग्लोबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, ये इन्होंने अर्थ बनाया, ये इन्होंने बॉक्स बनाया, इक्वेटर, रेनफॉल. ओके, अगेन द सेम आइडिया. 30% you've understood it. Dhananjay, is this Dhananjay? I think 30% you are understanding it, but the problem is answer is not. This is not the answer. This is one of the component of the answer. आपने देखा बाकी लोग ने सबमिट किया तो आप भी यही कर रहे हैं. Yes. CSE इसीलिए कहा था टाइप मत करना. आपने फिर एक डायमेंशन छापी है. I got your this thing. I am not going to take anything from you. I am very clear. अभिषेक, जितने भी लोगों ने बाद में लिया सबमिट कर रहे हैं, I am not reading anything from you. Okay, बनना 0. अब मैं सबका लेने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. राम ने कुछ पॉइंट्स लिखे हैं. राम क्या देखते हैं क्या कर रहे हैं. और अभी तो आंसर लिखवाई, अभी तो प्लान कर रहे हैं. ग्लोबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, इक्वेटोरियल, मिड लैटिट्यूड, लॉन्गिट्यूड, सेम थिंग्स राम, सेम थिंग्स. फैक्टर्स इफेक्टिंग, थोड़ा बहुत आपने कोशिश किया. एवरीबडी नाउ कॉट इन द सेम डायमेंशन. जो दीपशिखा ने लिखा सब लोग वही लिख रहे हैं. डू वी गेट दैट? बनना का हो गया. प्रियांक 0. अब सभी का लेने का फायदा नहीं ना. क्लाउड सीडिंग, ग्लोबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, क्लाउड सीडिंग नहीं. सुमित टोटली टेंजेंट, कहां जा रहे हो पता नहीं. अभिषेक इक्वेटर पोल. अभिषेक दीपशिखा वाला आंसर लिखा आपने. So this is the last answer which I am taking. पहले बताएंगे what is precipitation, फिर factors affecting global distribution of precipitation, फिर distribution over earth, diagram of world map, type and their relation of shifting sun. क्या है इसमें, कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. ये शॉर्ट नोट ऑन प्रेसिपिटेशन हो रहा है. ठीक है, चलिए. नाउ लेट अस लुक एट क्या लिखना चाहिए था. तो जिन लोगों ने प्रैक्टिस किया, who really use that space, उनके लिए मैं टेकन. बाकी लोग ने बाद में लेट सबमिशन नॉट अलाउड. अब से एक रूल बनाएंगे. अगर मैं आंसर राइटिंग डिस्कशन करूंगा, ओनली दिस टाइम आई हैव डन दिस, आई विल बी केयरफुल. अभी से नहीं करना शुरू करूंगा. सीएसई बहुत क्लियरली बता रहा हूँ, बहुत शो ऑफ है आंसर में. कोई आंसर में सब्सटेंस पे आपने काम नहीं किया, फिर आप लिखते हो सर सीख रहे हैं. तो प्लीज ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी से मुझे इंप्रेस मत करिए. आपका सेंटेंस भी वो था. रूल इज रूल. अगर आप अपना लिखा हुआ कर सकते करिए. लैपटॉप पर है, कहाँ पर है नहीं देखने वाले, बिकॉज दैट इज नॉट डन. ठीक है. अब हम बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर बहुत ही क्लियर. और आंसर राइटिंग का आज आई रियली थॉट आफ्टर फाउंडेशन एक जो है आंसर राइटिंग पे डिस्कशन होना चाहिए. बट इट इज रियली लाइक डिसअपॉइंटिंग द वे पीपल आर राइटिंग आंसर्स. उनको यही समझ में आया है टू इम्प्रेस. प्लीज पुट इन सम सेंटेंस. Nobody is making a genuine effort. All of you are either listening to the video or probably you are just thinking of one point and that's it. You are not applying. None of you is into answer writing. So please respect the question. This tells me the class is not ready and I am saying answer writing बिल्कुल बंद कर रहा हूँ इस बैच में. सिर्फ टीचिंग करूंगा और जहां आंसर राइटिंग होगा वहां पर मैं ही आंसर दिया करूंगा. It's an experiment gone wrong too early in a batch who talks a lot, who shows a lot. नहीं भाई, सिंपल चीजें, very very simple. So what is our question? Give an account of Give an account of global distribution of precipitation. तो पहला तो जब भी आंसर राइटिंग है, if you really want to learn answer writing, because I know you are doing many courses from other educators and you have your fancy ideas about answer writing, and one very clear thing I told you, is pani mein this water is not leaking out. This glass has a quality of integrity. Many people don't have integrity, so please bring integrity. First thing is question something. Give an account. Give an account matlab vritant de. So you attended a meeting. I was not there. I said, can you give me an account of what happened in the meeting? Yes. So give an account matlab kaise hua, kya hua. Give an account matlab you please describe what, where, and if required, how global distribution of precipitation is happening. Question क्या है? Global distribution of precipitation. You have to give an account. अगर यहाँ पर होता, the question could have been give a reasoned account. If the question was reasoned account, then how and why will be important. अभी क्या है? Give an account means what and where is important. If you want, you can go for when also. ठीक है? तो अभी हमसे रीजन अकाउंट पूछा ही नहीं. अब बहुत से लोग कहेंगे यार ये डिफरेंट होता है. अगेन अ रिक्वेस्ट, प्लीज पीवाईक्यू नहीं देखेंगे. इफ यू डोंट सी पीवाईक्यूज, प्रीवियस ईयर्स क्वेश्चंस, यू वुड नॉट नो कि यूपीएससी क्या क्वेश्चंस पूछता है. क्लास में तो आ जाते हैं, क्लास में सब समझते हैं. सेंट्रीपिटल अभी भी मुझे सुबह से लगा हुआ है कि भाई ये सेंट्रीपिटल क्यों लेकर आया था, उसका आंसर देखकर तो और भी बुरा लगा. गेट दैट? आई एम सेइंग एक्सप्लेन आता है, डिफरेंशिएट आता है, डिस्क्राइब आता है, डिस्कस आता है, गिव एन अकाउंट आता है. यस, एक्सप्लेन, डिस्कस विद सुटेबल अकाउंट, ब्रिंग आउट. ये क्वेश्चंस इस तरह से आते हैं. So when we are talking about give an account, I want to tell you there is another way. They say give a reasoned account. So उसके causes भी बताओ. अभी क्या है? Give an account of global distribution. That means world में precipitation कहाँ हो रहा है, उसका distribution कैसा है. So बस ये बताना है. This is what is to be told, and a little bit why and how will be a part of that. ठीक है? So when we are talking about give an account of distribution, तो सीधा distribution में जो लोग बोलते हैं मेरे पास content नहीं है, तो पहला step of answer writing is brainstorming. That I have to tell about distribution. So there are certain areas of very heavy rain, and there are certain areas very sparse rain, and obviously there will be moderate rain. Perfect. ये बताने मुझे. So the question is give an account of this heavy, moderate, and sparse. I can do that. अब ये कैसे लिखना है? So heavy में मुझे पता चलता है equatorial regions and rainy side of orographic barrier, ये रहता है. Sparse rains कहाँ पर है? Desert, arid, desert, ट्रॉपिकल, सब ट्रॉपिकल. ये क्या है? सेमी एरिड. ये कौन सा हुआ? सवाना. एरिड इज डेजर्ट. कहां से आंसर बनेगा? दिस आंसर इज जीसी लियोंग आंसर. यू विल बी सरप्राइज्ड. दिस आंसर इज जीसी लियोंग आंसर, नथिंग एल्स. मॉडरेट, well, moderate rain will come from areas which are not very rainy. So can I say monsoon land? Semi arid, but which side temperate latitude, not tropical. Savanna nahi hai. Semi-arid from temperate latitude, temperate cool latitudes. I think British type and China type and Laurentian type. In arid there can be hot and cold desert. ये आंसर बनना है भाई. आंसर तो ये बनेगा. You have to give an account for distribution, what and where. उसके बाद I also want to tell you, Dipchika ने try किया. I don't remember the name. If Dipchika is the name, you can also look at it as tropical, temperate, and polar. That can also be there. Give an account देना ना. You have to give an account of distribution of rainfall, global distribution of rainfall. कैसे करूंगा? Global distribution of rainfall is an outcome of interaction of multiple factors. ठीक है? Global distribution of precipitation is an outcome of multiple factors. ठीक है? These factors range from latitude, longitude, topography, land and water distribution, types of precipitation, etc. ये मेरा introduction हो गया. Is my introduction geographical? Are my words geographical or I'm trying to impress? अनिर्बान when you say duration of day, वो latitude में cover हो गया. Latitude ये मैंने sorry longitude लिखा है यहाँ पर. Longitude नहीं आना चाहिए, altitude आना चाहिए. My mistake. So you see that when I start my answer, I am to the point. What have you asked me? Global distribution of precipitation. I am starting with that. To show my intelligence, what did I say? It is not just one factor. It is an interplay of multiple factors. Latitude, altitude, topography, land, water, types of precipitation, everything. Do we get that? So this is what I'm going to do in my introduction. Introduction समझ में आ रहा है सबको या नहीं आ रहा? Introduction means you are telling the examiner right in the first sentence that I mean business. I am not इधर उधर की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. किसी ने कहा ना सर सीधा रोल लिख दो. रोल नहीं. I am telling the examiner that I know the answer, sir. This is what I'm going to write. And the examiner from the first thing he understands, हाँ ठीक है ये बताने वाला, he is going to give an account. Do we get that? आगे कैसे लिखूंगा? How will I write further? So this is my introduction. Get that? And then I will say global distribution of precipitation. So somebody said, sir, इसमें snow involved है कि नहीं? So it is not rainfall, precipitation, all types of precipitation. Get that? Rain, drizzle, snow, hail, सब कुछ involved है. Get that? So I'll say global distribution of precipitation. Global distribution of precipitation is dependent upon the latitude, because latitude decides the heat. Latitude decides the heat. Example, the equatorial region, equatorial belt has heavy precipitation. The altitude also decides the precipitation. और यहाँ पर मैं एक box item बना रहा हूँ. What is this box item? This is not a map. 3 types of precipitation. Can you see what am I doing? I'm talking about global distribution only, but I choose to inform the examiner that I know more about it because the type also decides. Number 1 type is, remember, convectional. Number 2 is orographic. Number 3 is frontal. So latitude also decides, altitude also decides. So with height, the rainfall or precipitation reduces in amount and changes from water to snow. Same for latitude. Same for latitude. Get it? Here I will draw another diagram. Here I will draw another diagram. What happens? Precipitation reduces as one goes in altitude. Precipitation reduces. Is everyone okay? So latitude and altitude, that has been there and has been covered here also or not? True. Global distribution of precipitation. Now when I come here, to appreciate the global distribution, one needs to see in 3 categories: high, moderate, and low. Can I give 1, 2, 3 regions of high? Remember orography, windward side, equatorial rainforest, something of that sort. 1, 2, and low is the desert, cold desert, hot desert. And what do I draw here? I draw a map over here. Okay. In this, I take 3 things: high and low. Moderate turning. So this means high rainfall. This means low rainfall. High and low. So where will high be, everyone? Will equator be high? Equator region. I will make high. Will I make the hilly areas, the rainy side of them, high? That will be there. What will be low? Deserts will be low. So I will mark the deserts of the world. What will I do? I will mark the deserts of the world. So deserts are low. High is there, low is there, everyone. High is there, low is there. What is left on the map? Whatever is left is moderate. Does it make sense? So do I have diagrams? Do I have map? And have I talked about global distribution in 3 categories? True. Answer में कुछ plan है. This is plan only. I'm not writing the answer. Some of you might say कि sir ये तो answer है. ये plan है. This is what I plan to write. This is what I plan to write. Get it? एक और चीज आगे चलते हैं everyone. Let me go back. Where was I? Give an account of global distribution of this thing. ये done है? हाँ sorry. ये कितने marks का था मैं ये देखना चाहता हूँ. How many marks was this question? Give an account of, this is a 30 marker. So अब 30 नहीं आते, अब तो 25 आते. So this is the full length answer. So full length answer में do you know how much pages are given in the examination? How much space is given in the examination? 4 pages. So I'll need 1 more page. Sir, but अब इसमें जबरदस्ती करेंगे क्या? No. Another way to look at precipitation, global precipitation, can be seen in terms of latitudes. Okay, everyone. Was my introduction on the topic? Everyone, was my introduction on the topic या इधर-उधर की बात कर रहा था? It was on the topic. Okay, perfect. Was my first page on the topic? Latitude, altitude. Was it on the topic? Okay. Is the second page on the topic? High, moderate, low. I have to give a spatial account. Is the second page also on the topic? Third page, I'm going to talk about latitude, and I have a trick to explain that. So let us look at this. What trick is this? Heavy rainfall, more than 200 centimeter. This is 100 to 200. This is 60 to 100, or you can say 40 to 100. This is less than 40. This is around 60. Yes. China type CF around 100. Laurentian type around 85, around 70. Get that? ये कितना होगा? This will be around 70. टाइगा में क्या होता है? कम हो जाता है. टाइगा में भी कम हो जाता है. 60, 60. इधर बहुत कम हो गया. ये क्या हो गया? टंड्रा and then ice cap. Do we get that? Can I explain this also? Can I use the word China type? Can I use the word monsoon? Can I use the word British type? Can I use the word Mediterranean type? And can I say there are special cases like India's Coromandel coast, like Mediterranean coast, which get rainfall in winter. Am I still talking about global distribution? Did I give global example also? Is my third page also on point? Am I compelling the examiner? To give me marks? और कुछ भी आप लिख रहे थे, जो भी आप लिख रहे थे. I am, see, this is just a start. Why am I disappointed? किसी ने honestly try नहीं किया आंसर का स्ट्रक्चर करना. That is more disappointing. You don't know how to write answer in the beginning, I understand, but no honest try also. That is very, very disturbing. And do you see that anywhere have I tried to impress? Don't you think after these 17 years of teaching, I have an impressive language, I can do that? I don't need it. I seriously don't need it. There is an easy question. I have a map in this. I have a diagram in this. I have categories also, quantitative categories. I have spatial categories. True. Now comes the last page. Last page. Whatever we have done on 3 pages was the natural rain pattern. However, anthropogenic activities have modified the rainfall pattern. True. Number 1, global warming. Global warming induced climate change. Number 2, extreme weather events. So heavy rainfall happens in some areas, spatial and temporal. Number 3, humans have gone to the extent of artificial precipitation. Have you heard of that or not? True or not? All said and done, Earth is a system, and all precipitation is nothing but the hydrological system. The less humans interfere in that, the better it is for humanity. Job finish. Hydrological cycle लेकर आया, कुछ इधर उधर का तो नहीं मारा. Just एक last line मारी है. The less human beings interfere in this, the better it is. That's all. इतना काम करना था. This is how you write an answer. इस आंसर को लिखने के लिए many people, as you know, like the pathways and all that, वो सब लिखने की जरूरत नहीं. This is a very simple straight answer. Yes, you will require to brainstorm. Answer writing में challenge is 1 point तो सभी को आ जाएगा. As I told you, no, beating on the road, everyone beating one boy on the road, you also go and kick. That's okay. Taking on one single person and 1-to-1 fight with him is a big challenge. So take an answer head on. मैं लिखकर देखता हूँ क्या आएगा. Get that? So this was something on answer writing. First session. I hope it has been an eye opener for you that answer writing कहने से नहीं आता है. Just saying, sir, can we do answer writing? Can we write answer every day? Will it improve? Yes. What will improve? Your wrist muscles. कलाई की muscle improve हो जाएगी. Some people say no. पहले दिन से answer लिखो, रोज एक answer लिखो. आता है नहीं आता कुछ भी लिखो, लिखते रहो. ऐसे ही तो हम बड़े हुए. यार वो ऐसे बड़े हुए होंगे. Do you want those errors to happen to you also? I don't know. First of all, many of them never wrote this exam. Many of them never wrote this exam who are giving you this advice. Get that? I know people who are into teaching and who have not given this examination, so they have an academic approach. Number 1. Second is the approach which they said, write something every day, failed them. So write something meaningful and purposeful every day. If you can't write too many things, you can say a short note on hydrological cycle. ये कर लो, question बदल लो ना. A short note on anomalous temperature. What is anomalous temperature? Short note में define तो करना पड़ेगा ना. A deviation of the temperature from the expected value is called anomalous temperature. A deviation from the expected value of temperature of a region is called anomalous temperature. It can be positive anomaly, it can be negative anomaly. Explain what is positive, explain what is negative. Next is factors leading to anomalous temperature. Answer: land and water, ocean currents, air flow. Yes or no? Can we say that? तो 4 हमने factor लिख दिए. उसके बाद example फिर बना दिया कि expected temperature here was 20 degrees Celsius, but because of the cold Peruvian current coming from the pole towards equator, instead of 20, what was observed? 15 was observed. That means 20 was displaced. So 15 is an anomaly. हो सकता है. ये करना है, मार्क्स आ जाएगा. जहां फंसे हो, जहां पर भी फंसे हो, wherever you are stuck, बड़ा आंसर नहीं लिखना आता. Forms of condensation. Short note. What are forms of condensation? Solid and liquid. Water vapor condensing into liquid is called condensation. However, in certain cases, upon condensation, the liquid also quickly turns into solid, so which leads to solid form of conversation. ठीक है, तो अब हम आगे फॉर्म में, then we will talk about form one by one. drizzle, rain, yes or no, उसके बाद hail, उसके बाद snowfall, sleet, 4-5 चीजें ली, काम बन गया. सर ये कहाँ मिलेगा हमें इन्फॉर्मेशन? ये तो एनसीईआरटी में अवेलेबल है ना? इज इट अवेलेबल इन एनसीईआरटी? सपोज यू डू नॉट नो, यू डोंट हैव एनसीईआरटी, यू जस्ट फूलिंग मी, इधर आते हैं, यू प्रॉमिस सर सब ले लिया मैंने, लेते कुछ भी नहीं है, आपने सिर्फ सब्सक्रिप्शन लिया है, सर वो पैसा वसूल कराइए. तो आज आपके कोर्स अपडेट सेक्शन में फॉर्म्स ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन, टाइप्स ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन, क्लाउड्स, क्लाउड फॉर्मेशन, एवरीथिंग हैज बीन अपलोडेड. अपलोड करने के बाद कर रहा हूँ, एक पेज, सिंगल पेज इन्वर्जन ऑफ टेम्परेचर भी अपलोडेड है. व्हाट इज इन्वर्जन ऑफ टेम्परेचर? आई go by a plan. My plan was that 6 days I will be dealing with basic things of atmosphere, elementary things of atmosphere. Students who are honestly doing NCERT, who are not unnecessarily doing gymnastics of centripetal, centrifugal and adiabatic and diabetic, वो सब नहीं कर रहे हैं, बैठे बैठे ELR का जिम्नास्टिक नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो आज अच्छा काम करने वाले थे. Discuss the nature and composition of atmosphere. सोचो यार, what is the nature? Nature of the atmosphere is highly variable. What is the nature? It is layered. What is the nature? It has evolved over a period of time. What is the nature? It has differentiated. Its gas content changes. Yes or no? What is the nature? It is denser towards the bottom, rarer towards the top. 5 points तो मैंने nature पे बना दिए. 5 points on nature. Talking to you, I created them. Then only I'll get marks. No? How will I get marks otherwise? If I can't give 5 dimensions about nature, then that is there. Then comes the composition. So let us look at the composition. There is a dry air composition. There is a variable composition. I will explain the dry air composition. Then I will explain the variable composition. I'll say, however, it is not that the atmosphere when it started had this composition always. Initially it was hydrogen, helium, but through differentiation it has come to this. Good marks. Make a diagram. Tell us about those percentages. Remember table होता है 78% nitrogen, 21% is this, and that's it. CSE मत दो मुझे, point मत दो. Not interested in them. मुझे पता है तुम बीच में एक ऐसे मार दो, तक देखा, icing on the cake. ये केक है इतना सुंदर. There is a beautiful cake. Sir, I have a cherry. I want to tell you, everyone sitting in this class has a cherry. But you don't have a cake. एग्जाम में मार्क्स का क्या, किसका मार्क्स मिलेगा, चेरी का या केक का? चेरी वाले तो बहुत घूम रहे हैं, अपनी अपनी चेरी लेके घूमो. Learn to make a cake. That's my invitation. My classes, I said, what inspires me is 300 plus. मैं बता रहा हूँ, plus is cherry. 300 will come from the cake. 300 की तैयारी करें. जो fancy ideas हैं, they are plus. They are plus. Do we have these things or not? So I do not try to impress students with fancy English. I have very good English. I can impress you if needed. I can do that in an essay class. Geography, I mean business. Very clear business. कि भाई 300 का business है, 300 कैसे लाएंगे? For that we need to have substantive. So पहला atmosphere and weather elements कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते? एक क्वेश्चन मैंने क्लास में किया था, discuss the forces which govern air movement on the earth surface. कर सकते हैं? What are the forces? क्या forces है? PGF, फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स, कोरियोलिस फोर्स. इसी पे खत्म कर देंगे. अगर आपके मन में साइक्लोन है, सर्कुलेटरी है, तब आएगा सेंट्रीफ्यूगल. और मैं सच बता रहा हूं, everyone who's in the class, everyone who's attending this class will be more impressed by centrifugal because you don't understand much about it. You would want to impress someone by the word centrifugal. Many teachers do that. वो कोरियोलिस और बाकी सब पे नहीं दिमाग लगा. सेंट्रीफ्यूगल, you know what? Close ice bars and then this will happen, then centrifugal force will come and then it will go against PGF, then the geostrophic bend has to adjust accordingly. वो impress करेगा. आप एनसीईआरटी पढ़ लो, एनसीईआरटी में से कहीं सेंट्रीफ्यूगल लिखा हुआ है. सो बट एनसीईआरटी थोड़ी ना एग्जाम है. दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. द एग्जामिनर इज गोइंग टू वैल्यू फर्स्ट थिंग्स फर्स्ट. पीजीएफ, एफएफ, सीएफ आर द मेन वंस. यस और नो? एंड देन सेंट्रीफ्यूगल विल कम, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट. बट आप लोग क्या हो, चमत्कार को नमस्कार. व्हाट यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड, यू थिंक दैट्स द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. नाउ टेल मी, who will try to pretend to be look smart and great? Who will try to pretend to look smart and great? The person who feels that I am not that good. I have a lot of limitations. I need to conceal them. I need to hide them. I need to paint something on my face so that nobody looks at my face, the original face, because that is not attractive enough. I'm saying, I'm promising you that your original face in geography is very attractive. जो सीधे पॉइंट लिख रहे हो is very, very attractive. Completion is attractive. Yes or no? So a beautiful presentation of a food in hotel. How many days can you eat food at hotel every day? Is it good for your health? How long would you do that? Yes, number one. And tell me, the people you want to impress, if you get on the impressing treadmill, will you always have to continue doing that or not? Someday would you want to stop? Someday would you want people to accept the way you are? Yes or no? And that gives you power. That gives you power. तो मैं इतना जानता हूं सर, इस पे दे दीजिए मुझे. So everyone, I'm taking a glass and I'm thirsty. So I have a glass of water. Can you see how much water in this? Okay. Now in between, do I have to show you? Oh, I have a bottle also. I have a bottle also. I have a bottle also. maybe I will not even drink this much. Maybe I will not even drink this much. Why do I keep it with me? Because all the time I'm speaking, maybe my throat goes dry, I start coughing, तो कुछ ऐसा पड़ा हुआ है. ऐसा नहीं कि मुझे वो सारा पीना ही है. Yes or no? I am easy. I am easy. You know, I come to the class, I start the class, चलो यार बच्चों डाउट पूछो यार, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो about the winds and everything. Sir, वो centripetal. Why? कहाँ से आया? Sir, the air is sinking at 30 degrees. Sir, how is it possible when ELR is more than ALR? ये तो है ही नहीं. This is not possible. Why are you asking me? Hypothetical question. Why are you trying to ask hypothetical questions? I'm not questioning your inquiry. I'm not questioning your inquiry. But I'm saying you don't have straight questions. आप ये आंसर मुझे दे नहीं पाए. You could not give me this answer, and you were talking to me on centripetal. अच्छा एक बात बताइए. One is trying to show off since childhood. Since childhood, do other people easily make out that he or she is trying to show off? And if that person does it too often, so do we get to see that this is the habit of this person to show off? What makes you think that if you create those artificial answers, after reading 3-4 answers, the examiner will not catch you he's trying to show off? And tell me, can you be more intelligent, more knowledgeable than the geography examiner who has spent years in the university teaching that? And would that give a good impression to you? I'm just looking at that. Straight things coming to you, no gyan in this. Straight answer, we wrote what was asked and we did connect it with human geography. Should we connect it with human geography? We did connect it. Should we connect it to ecosystem? We did connect it. Hydrological cycle? We did. So concept we have information. We converted information into knowledge. And towards the end, we gave a glimpse of the wisdom that we carry. That is enough to get good marks. Sach batao, more than enough to get good marks. Is everyone okay? So this was an initiation into answer writing. Answer writing, a simple rule. First rule for answer writing is understand what is asked. Get that? Avoid writing what you know. Coaching में book में रट के बैठा है. Instead, brainstorm मतलब recall related ideas. Clear बता रहा हूँ. Recall related ideas. Second is plan an outline or structure of answer. Is everyone okay? Plan an outline or structure of an answer. Third is innovate. ये दिया नहीं होता कहीं पर. Innovate, maybe a diagram, a map, or an example. Any one to be included in the answer. Okay. Third, right answer. Stick to the question. Stick to the question only. Yes or no? Do not deviate too much. Too much deviation shows poor concept clarity. That you did not have the concept clarity, that is why you are looking at too much deviation, certain exceptions आप बता रहे हो, or like you are trying to do some superlatives. ऐसा कहीं नहीं हो सकता, सिर्फ यहीं पर हो रहा है. Yes or no? Some freak ideas. Don't do that. Too much of background, उसका background बना रहे इस topic का. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Stick to the question and in 3 terms. Info, knowledge and wisdom. और wisdom कैसे आएगा? Link paper 1 with paper 2, which you don't know right now. आपने syllabus नहीं किया है. So you can also link physical with human geography. You can also link past with present, what is happening in the world and what will be the future. पूरे आंसर राइटिंग का ये एक जिस्ट है, ये क्रक्स है. इफ यू नो दैट आंसर राइटिंग विल हैपन. अगेन सेइंग, पीपल हु हैव अटेंडेड द क्लास वंस, दैट इज नो गारंटी यू नो ज्योग्राफी. इफ रिक्वायर्ड यू माइट हैव टू रीरीड इट. इफ रिक्वायर्ड यू माइट हैव टू री-लिसन टू इट. दैट्स ऑल. एंड इट विल कम थ्रू अ प्रोसेस. इज एवरीवन ओके विद दैट? बेसिक क्वेश्चंस के मैंने आंसर्स लिए आज. आई हैव अ रिक्वेस्ट, एक क्वेश्चन जो मैंने आपसे कहा था उसको ट्राई करिए. ट्राई दिस क्वेश्चन, डिस्कस द फोर्सेस. Discuss the forces. एक और बहुत ही straight question. Tell me, ये question class में हो चुका है कि नहीं? Explain the meridional circulation. Why are cells created? Why? So you know thermal, then mechanical, then frontal. Do we know that? No. Why are they created? Why the cells are not completely created? Remember, horizontal heat exchange आना चाहिए यहाँ पर, आना चाहिए. And does it influence the world climate? Oh yes, it does influence the world climate. Sinking air becomes the desert, address of desert. Frontal region becomes the address Am I visible, everyone? Yeah. So I wanted to answer all parts of the question. They say in this question, explain the meridional circulation. Explain the mechanism of meridional circulation, and second is significance. So mechanism to everyone understand. What is significance? जल्दी से बताइए. What is significance? आंसर दो क्या है? अनमोल, राखी, प्रकाश, सबका आंसर एकदम सही. हीट बैलेंस. Its significance is heat transfer. Planets heat budget is. Number one, heat exchange. That's the main one. Second thing, various weather phenomena like excessive rain in the equatorial region, frontal rain, snowfall, types of precipitation, forms of precipitation, yes, and horizontal variation. Say, for example, jet stream will control all those things. So they all will be worked on that. So that is the significance of this atmospheric pattern of circulation. Is everyone okay? अभी बताइए, if anyone has done the classes properly और बैठ के एक एक क्वेश्चन की पिटाई करता है, sits down and looks at this, and not just हाँ ये मैं कर सकता हूँ. You know, it takes something to write an answer. So will your confidence increase or not? So just to teach for the sake of teaching, as I said, you know, I'm not impressed by that. I'm very, very clearly impressed by the fact that through my endeavors, through my programs, I'm able to push the student adequately to get high scores. Conceptually also, in way of writing also, in way of illustrations also. So that is my request to all of you. But फिर मैं वही कहूँगा कि बहुत से students को पसंद क्या आता है, बस पढ़ाते रहो, हंसाते रहो, मजा आना चाहिए. Yes or no? So I hope मजे के साथ you are also looking at result. So we ended the class with Parmin's horizontal heat exchange model. Yes or no? Parmin was of the view that only 0 to 30 degrees, these two cells are fully formed. The cell which is here, where the heated air reaches here 60 degrees, here a front is created. A front is created which keeps on shifting with the sun. So it can be anywhere. So these are called the mid latitudes. 30 to 60 को क्या बोलते हैं? Mid latitudes, where the cold air wedges beneath the warm air. And forces the warm air to rise, cool, and sink again. So as a result, this does not form, this is partial form. Yes. And what is happening is along the front in the upper atmosphere, warm air is going on the polar side and the cold air is coming on the tropical, subtropical side. As a result, what is happening? Horizontal heat exchange is happening. Where does it happen? Mid latitude heat exchange. At frontal zones. And the fronts keep on shifting. तो ये आपको बनाना आना चाहिए. I ended the class on this. I took 2 minutes to draw this. Can we, in the examination, be that fluid that if needed, हम भी इसको जल्दी से draw कर सकते हैं. If needed, we should also be able to draw it quickly the way I did it. Is everyone okay? And these are called surface winds, and whatever is happening over here and there, this is airflow aloft. यहाँ पर, where I put a circle, what happens to the wind? Wind turns, क्या हो जाता है? 30 डिग्री पर, जल्दी से बताइए. Wind turns geostrophic. Very good. Geostrophic, close to the tropopause. So instead of going towards the pole, it turns around, and this is also the place where jet streams are created. And another place where jet streams are created are above the front. So यहाँ भी jet stream बनती है, यहाँ भी बनती है, JS1, JS2. JS1 and 2. What are these? We will talk when we are doing jet streams. Is everyone okay? So I have a simple question. Any air in the equatorial region going towards the pole, can it reach the pole? No, it will not reach the pole. Somewhere it will turn geostrophic. The Coriolis force will not allow it to go there. Somewhere it will turn geostrophic. Geostrophic का मतलब यही है. Geostrophic is a wind which instead of crossing the isobars has turned parallel. And why parallel? Because two forces did that. This is what I asked, and this is what we are talking about. Is everyone okay? Okay. How does rain happen, everyone? How does rain happen? Rain कैसे होती है? So when air rises over cold in front, I don't know, Dolly says condensation. Very good. Kushi says condensation. Condensation of water vapor. Why does it happen? Cooling of air with moisture. Cooling of air with moisture. Cool to a temperature which is called dew point. Yes, which is called dew point, or saturation point, or condensation point. Everyone with me on this? Simple things. I believe in first simple things. Hindi English people, all understanding or not? Answer writing also Hindi English सबको समझ आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा है? Some people will say Hindi वाले को समझ नहीं, English को नहीं. These are straight things which I am talking about. Hindi English, they will be applying to all of you. I have a common sense question which is bothering me. Please help me. I have a common sense question which is bothering me. Please help me. I have seen that when the tropical areas become very, very hot, yes, so the moisture in the air evaporates, moisture on land evaporates and reaches up and turns into clouds. What are clouds? What are clouds? Clouds are water vapor condensed drops. They are tiny. They are tiny in size. How tiny? How tiny is a cloud drop? So everyone, you have hair on your head. Yes, hair will have a diameter. बाल का diameter होगा या नहीं होगा? ठीक है. 1/10 of the diameter of your hair. 1/10. That is the minimum. It can be 1/70th also, 1/30th also. Is the size of cloud drop. Here, 1/10 of that is the size of cloud drop. So do you understand why clouds float in air? Because they are a combination of cloud droplets. Is everyone okay? So they float in air. I have seen clouds forming since childhood, and I have seen some of them produce rain, some of them do not produce rain. I understood that cloud is formed because of condensation. I don't understand how rain is formed. Why these drops are floating, and the drops which reach me, they are not that tiny, they are big. बड़ी drop आती कि नहीं आती नीचे? So what is this? That is my question. How does rain happen? You said because of condensation. I'm saying because of condensation, clouds form. And there are clouds which do not cause rain. Am I making myself clear or not? Am I creating the problem clearly to you or not? So how will rain happen? Frank is saying saturate. So saturate is there. Saturation is already there. That is cloud. Collect around hygroscopic nuclei, Raj. That collection around hygroscopic nuclei had led to the creation of cloud droplet. Dhananjay, already humidity is 100% in the cloud. Purvi saying when the cloud is not able to hold the drops, then rain. Purvi, cloud is not a bucket, no. वो those drops are floating, वो फैल जाएगा और spread out हो जाएगा. Have we seen overcast sky and no rain? When tiny drops become heavier, so क्यों हो जाएगा ना? Why would they turn heavier? Due to heavy clouds started falling in the form of snow water. नहीं भाई, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. No. So first of all, this is a puzzle. This is a puzzle. How does rain happen? So this is a question of process of precipitation. ये समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि precipitation क्या है. ये इतने light हैं. These are so light. These are so tiny fragments that they are afloat. Have you heard of suspended particulate matter? हाँ, ये बनते ही छोटे हैं. These are like SPM. They are like that. अच्छा, one more thing, everyone. One more thing. I have a question for some people who are confused on this. What happens to the air when it rises? It cools. What happens to the air when it sinks? It warms up. Yes, sir? So please get that. When a drop, which you are saying, when that drop goes down, and if it is not big enough, you know what? As the temperature is increasing, it will evaporate back. It will not come down. It to chotu sa, it is floating. And even if it is slightly bigger, and if it starts the downward journey, on the journey, it is warm, it will evaporate and go back. So बारिश आपके पास आएगी ही नहीं. It will never come. So problem हो गई कि ये कैसे होता है? Precipitation, how does it happen? So this was a problem in the world. That cloud formation is okay. RH is equal to 100%. On hygroscopic nuclei, this happens, but then there is a problem. How does precipitation happen? Yes. Okay, everyone. So you go to a place called Burundi, one of the poorest countries in the world. One of the poorest countries. You know how much people are getting? Average income. $15 per month. ऐसे चल रहा है. And do you know, more than 60% of their population is less than 15 years. बच्चे ही बच्चे हैं, children, all are children. Big problem. Woman gives birth to 5, 7, 8 children. Get that? Malnutrition. Often die. Most of them will die. Many of them. I think the highest orphan rate in the world. 5% of the population is orphans. 5% of the population is orphans. बच्चों का कोई नहीं. No food, nothing. They will be traded, sold in the market, and everything happens. It's a curse over there. Absolute curse. One of the unhappiest countries. Yes, no, drinking water nahi hai, food nahi hai, work nahi hai. And I want to tell you, nearly everyone is totally dependent on agriculture. Only 15% of the population has access to internet. Only 15%. Everything is pain over there. You're plain lucky that you were born here. You want, I'll share a video with you on the group. Yes. It's a very, very sad place to be. A person from Burundi and a person from India. Yes. They find a child begging. Who will help? Indian will help. Now this fellow, the Burundi fellow, can afford. He can afford to help. But don't you think that an Indian will help more? And if we see an American, USA, they have more money, yes or no? They can also help, yes or no? Can I say all of them have different helping capacities? So generally these children are not even known to us. है ना? हम यहाँ Hindu, Muslim, upper caste, lower caste ये खेल खेल रहे होते हैं. उधर survival का खेल है. These people are fighting for survival. World is not an easy place to live. And I want to tell you, like people are talking about Ukraine, Russia. You look at Africa. You'll be so happy that God blessed you and gave you a life in India. आपकी आँख खुली इंडिया में. युगांडा, रवांडा, बुरुंडी, इथियोपिया. अगर होता तो मैं कहता वापस ले लो, मुझे नहीं आना. Wrong place. Spatio-temporal non-availability. मैं जहर खा के वहीं मर जाता. True or not? So you're born in Burundi. There is no way of going out. Where do you go? You don't have parents. Parents died. Where do you go? You live over there. You just survive. So everyone, I want to share something with you. Why this Burundi story? Burundi तो वीडियो में चलेगा. वीडियो शेयर करूँ आपके साथ. I thought you'll be depressed. इसलिए नहीं किया. Geography is knowing about the world, no? Some of you might say, यार, such a sad one. चलिए. So I will share. Don't worry. So watch it. अब आपके पास इतनी सारी क्लास होती है. Answer writing तुम जो कर रहे हो कर ही रहे हो. So let me not get into that, but I will share the video for people who really want and who have a little more courage to see what is happening in the world. You watch that video. It's I think a 30-minute video. You can put it 1.5x. Watch it. Okay. So I have shared this already on the group. Clouds. Remember cloud types? Different types of clouds are there. True. So this has been shared on the group. Cloud particles. I told you, cloud particles are tiny ones. Cloud particles. Cloud is a dense mass of suspended water or ice. So cloud में क्या होता है? water droplet and ice crystal. सर नॉट ज्वाइन द ग्रुप, शेयर लिंक सर, बेटा वो तो ग्रुप पे डालेंगे या कम्युनिटी में होंगे, फॉलो मी ऑन द कम्युनिटी, कम्युनिटी पे डाल देंगे. सो अ क्लाउड इज अ डेंस मास ऑफ सस्पेंडेड वाटर एंड आइस पार्ट. सो क्या होता है क्लाउड के अंदर? सर वाटर पार्टिकल समझ में आया, आइस कहां से आया? रिमेंबर व्हाट डू वी हैव? We have condensation nuclei. On that what will happen? Hygroscopic nuclei, drop will form. But if we have very cold freezing nuclei, on that what will form? Ice will form. And they're very small, 20 to 50 micrometer, which is originally the order of nucleus of a solid matter. 1 micrometer होता है यार. Nuclei of condensation are very small and minute suspended particle collectively as atmosphere dust. They are there, वो उस पर हो जाते हैं. Although clean air is an environmental goal, ठीक है, ये हमने किसी बुक से लिया होगा. So वो है. Cloud consists entirely of water droplets at temperature below or about 12 degrees Celsius and then ice crystals. ठीक है. So दो चीजों से बनता है क्लाउड. उसके बाद I told you about stratus cloud, cumulus cloud, globular cloud. Have we already talked about this? So types of cloud, low, middle, high. So that table is also there. NCERT में भी इधर भी है. So वो हमने शेयर कर दिया. अब the puzzle was that how are clouds forming? How are clouds forming? So वो मैं आपको दिखाना चाह रहा हूँ. So this process is called the Bergeron process. What does it explain? It explains that how raindrops are created out of clouds. Okay. So that cloud droplet is 10 micrometers. So in comparison, a human air is 75 micrometers. So can I say 1/7 of it? 1/7, 1/10 of it? Yes or no? It is very small. An average cloud droplet, if it was forming, if it was forming and it has to fall 1 kilometer, then it will take 48 hours to fall. Remember, they are very small. And on the process, what will happen? They will evaporate before they fall. So a raindrop has to be large enough, then only it will form. So there are two mechanisms by which scholars have tried to tell us how rain forms: Bergeron process, collision process. Okay. So everyone, I want you to write two things. दो चीजें लिखनी है. First is cloud droplets do not freeze at 0 degrees Celsius. So generally, when does it freeze? 0 degree, no freezing point. So no freezing at 0 degrees Celsius. That is the property of water. Pure water suspended in air does not freeze until it reaches -40 degrees Celsius. So 0 पर नहीं होगा, कहां पर होगा? -40 degrees Celsius तक you can cool it to freeze. Yes or no? And remember I told you a word for that. So this is water which has gone below 0 degree but not frozen. What do we call them? Super cooled water. Remember in upper atmosphere when I told you about the aeroplane going and it creates a trail of that. So water in liquid state below 0 degrees Celsius is generally referred to as super cooled. Super cooled water will readily freeze if sufficiently agitated. Remember, if the plane goes through it. This explains why aeroplane collects ice when they pass through the liquid cloud made up of supercooled. These materials have been termed as freezing nuclei. In addition, supercooled droplets will freeze upon contact with solid particles that have a crystal form closely resembling to ice. These materials have been termed as freezing nuclei. तो और क्या चाहिए हमको? Freezing nuclei चाहिए. Either there should be freezing nuclei. If not, then what will happen? The water will continue to be super saturated. Is everyone okay with that? The need for freezing nuclei to initiate freezing process is similar to requirement of condensation nuclei. Just like we have hygroscopic nuclei, we have freezing nuclei also. However, in contrast to condensation nuclei, freezing nuclei are very sparse in the atmosphere. They are not available. They do not generally become active until the temperature reaches 10 degrees Celsius or below. Only at temperatures well below freezing will ice begin to form, and even at this, they will be very few. So बहुत ही clear होते हैं. ठीक है? So one property is this. Second interesting property is this. Second property of water. This is science, everyone, not Sachin Arora's ideas. This is science, scientific property of water. When air is saturated with respect to water, it is super saturated with respect to ice. Get that? Super saturated. Is everyone okay with this? Please listen to this. ये दो पॉइंट लिख लीजिए. If freezing nuclei are absent, so no ice even below 0 degrees Celsius. When will ice form? At minus this thing. So please second property. What is the second property? When air is saturated. Saturated का मतलब क्या होता है बच्चों? RH is equal to 100%. For ice, it means RH is greater than 100%. Suppose the air is saturated and the temperature is -10 degrees Celsius. So अभी कितना हो गया? 110 हो गया ना? ये तो 100 saturated है, but यहाँ पर क्या हो जाएगा? 110% हो जाएगा. Super saturated. Get it? when air is saturated with respect to water. When RH is equal to 100, then for ice it can be more than 100. Get it? कुछ लिखा हुआ दिखा देता हूँ, जो लोग नहीं समझ रहे उसको भी बताऊंगा, पहले ये क्लियर होना जरूरी। 100% relative humidity, it is super saturated greater than 100 with respect, say for example at minus 10 degrees, RH is equal to 100, but for this ice crystal always, air always appears super saturated. यहाँ तक क्लियर है नहीं है? नहीं है तो पूछो जो पूछना है. Sir did not understand. Okay, everyone. Boy from Burundi. Yes or no? Beggar. He is begging. He is begging. Yes. What does he want? What does he want? He wants some food. See that? This is India. And this is Burundi national. Rich man. Rich Indian. Rich Burundian and rich Indian. Okay. So, to this boy, to this beggar, this fellow is what? Rich. What is Indian to this beggar? Ultra rich. Yes or no? Both are rich. Both are rich. But will Indian be ultra rich compared to that? Yes or no? Now, let's come to water. So, I am cooling air. I am cooling air. Okay. And suppose, we are looking at the air becoming the dew point. Dew point of the air is, say, for example, 4 degrees Celsius. And freezing point is 0 degrees Celsius. Is everyone okay? So, everyone, when the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, is RH higher than 100 or less than 100? Less than 100. When will it become equal to 100? At 5 degrees Celsius, RH is equal to 100%. Condensation will happen. Yes or no? Now, at 0 degrees Celsius, what is RH? Relative humidity. Still 100%. Relative humidity is 100%. True or not? Water will stay condensed. Water will stay condensed. Yes or no? Is everyone okay? Suppose the temperature, we start heating again. We start heating again and we reach a temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. What will happen to the RH? So it will no longer be 100 degrees Celsius. Will it be less than 100 degrees Celsius or 100% or not? So can I say, will temperature decide the RH or not? At what point will the RH be 100%? RH will be 100%, sir, at 5 degrees Celsius. If you increase, RH will go below that. Yes, the air will become unsaturated. And if you increase, if you cool it further, the RH stays 100 only. Yes or no? This is the case of water. Water in the atmosphere. But I want to tell you, if there is ice, get that? And water, ice plus water, at what temperature? 5 degrees Celsius. What is RH? 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius. What is RH? RH is 100%. RH is 100%. And what is RH for ice? RH for ice? अभी 110 नहीं है, अभी 110 नहीं, उसके लिए 105 हो गया, because वो 5 degrees extra जो गया वो ice को लगता है 105%. If the temperature goes to -10, और अगर हम इसको freezing point को 0 ही मान लेते हैं, let us consider this. If the temperature goes to -10, then RH for ice is 110, but for this fellow it is 100 only. So a situation of saturation, a situation below freezing point for ice means ultra rich, ultra saturated, but for water it is always saturated. Is everyone okay? This is the property of water. When air is saturated with respect to water, RH is this, but depending on the temperature, for ice the RH can be more than this. Is everyone okay? So can I say it is super saturated? Get that? Achha, tell me. After crossing dew point or condensation point, upon cooling and after crossing dew point and condensation point, there is pressure on water vapor to do what? To condense. Fill in the blank. Yes or no? To condense. So dew point is 10 degrees Celsius. But for condensation, what is required? Hygroscopic nuclei. Hygroscopic nuclei are not there. And I cool it to 5 degrees Celsius. What happens to the pressure to condense? The urge to condense. When pressure do not take it to atmospheric pressure. Will the urge increase? Yes. More. अरे और condense करो यार, क्यों नहीं हो रहा अभी तक? At 0 degrees, will it be more? Yes or no? Can I say that? So can I say 10 degrees Celsius was saturation? और यहाँ पर क्या है? Super saturation. When we go to super saturation, what is the tendency? To change the state. Will there be a change in the state or not? Tendency is there or not? There is a strong tendency. There is a strong tendency. Is everyone okay? So the tendency. So there is a tendency. लगा देता हूँ. Pressure से confuse होता है. Is everyone okay with this? Now everyone, please pay attention. This is the cloud at a temperature minus 30 degrees Celsius. What is it made up of? Cloud droplets. These are cloud droplets. They should fall. They are not falling. Why are they not falling? So they are too light. Yes. Now there are a few ice crystals also. What are there? Few ice crystals. What is the situation of relative humidity for water droplet? Sir, 100%. So what is the tendency of the water droplet? To turn into vapor or stay water? Turn back into vapor or stay water? Status quo. What does RH 100% means? Full capacity used. Capacity of air filled with water. Saturated का मतलब यही होता है ना, जो भी capacity है water के लिए, जो भी space है, all space is occupied. Is everyone okay? For the ice crystal, what is the relative humidity? 130. Because the temperature is minus 30. Yes. If the relative humidity was 100, you should have frozen. You should have frozen because you crossed 0 degrees Celsius. But you did not freeze. Why did you not freeze? Why did you not freeze? Because you did not have condensation nuclei or freezing nuclei. True or not? There were no nuclei. So what is happening? The air got super saturated, super cooled. So minus 10, 110. Then minus 20, 120. Then minus 30, 130. What is the tendency? Tendency is to freeze. ASAP. What is the problem? Nuclei are not there. Then the temperature goes to minus 40. Minus water. RH for water doesn't change, sir. It stays 100% only. Yes or no? What happens to this? 140. What happens to the tendency? Further increase. Yes or no? And now you reach minus 40. So what will happen? Remember minus 40 पे even if the nuclei are not there, इतना ठंडा होने पर थोड़ा सा agitate करेंगे तो freeze हो जाएगा. Or I would say the existing ice crystal will act as a nuclei. So what will happen? Freezing will happen. Freezing of what? What freezes, everyone? What freezes? What in the cloud will freeze? So the cloud droplet. Cloud droplet will freeze. So cloud droplet freeze, cloud droplet freeze, cloud droplet freeze. What will happen to the ice crystal? It will grow big. Will it grow big or not? Ice crystal grows big. True. At the cost of what did it consume? What did it consume? It consumed the droplet. Okay. Now tell me, everyone. The cloud had a capacity. Suppose everyone. The cloud had a capacity to hold 100 cloud droplets. 100 cloud droplets was the full capacity. And air was filled with water. Now, out of those 100 cloud droplets, 10 each were consumed by the ice crystal. So, how many cloud droplets are left? How many cloud droplets are left? 70. 10 in each. So, 3 में गया तो 70 बच गए कि नहीं? Now tell me, does the cloud have the capacity? Does the cloud have the capacity? Is it unsaturated or not? Unsaturated हो गया, फिर से unsaturated हो गया. So now what will happen? Cloud will again get saturated. How will the cloud get saturated? पढ़ते हैं. So पहला तो ये समझ में आया that the ice crystals will grow. Everyone okay? Because of which property? Which property? That for one, if it is saturated, the other one is super saturated. So let us read this. ये आपके लिए डाल दिया गया so that you can see the process. This brings us to the second interesting property. When the air is saturated for water, it is super saturated for ice. Get that? Thus, ice crystal cannot peacefully coexist with water because the air always appears super saturated. So the ice crystal begins to consume the excess water vapor, which lowers the relative humidity of the surrounding droplet. तो जो बाकी droplets हैं उनके आसपास क्या हो गया, RH कम हो गया. In turn, the water droplet evaporates. So cloud में water droplet भी तो है. Yes or no? Get that? So वो यहाँ पर क्या हो जाएगा? It will evaporate. एक हमने वहाँ पे गड़बड़ किया. I think I made a mistake over there. 3 things are there. इसमें क्या क्या चीजें? What is this? मैं क्लाउड का डायग्राम फिर से बनाता हूँ, थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन उससे क्लियर होता है. What are 3 things? So ये मैंने यहाँ पर किधर गया, उधर वापस जा रहे हैं. इधर जो वो है ना, this is something which I made a mistake. What will freeze? Where did we write? Vapor will freeze. Okay. Let me take a fresh sheet. Cloud has 3 components. What are the 3 components? What is this, everyone? Ice crystal. What is this? Cloud droplet. What is this? Ice crystal. What is this? These are vapors. Vapors are not condensing. Why vapors are not condensing? RH 100% हो गया. Yes or no? तो जो जहां पर है वहीं पर. अब उसके आगे हमारे पास हाइग्रोस्कोपिक न्यूक्लियाई नहीं है, whatever, but vapor are there. Now vapor wants to condense. Vapor wants to condense because it is there. So RH is equal to 100% for the cloud droplet. But vapor is there. Vapor is around, and vapor is exerting RH is equal to 140 for the ice. Ice को क्या feel हो रहा है? So what starts condensing on the ice? My mistake. I said water will condense. What will condense? Vapor will straight away condense and freeze. Straight away condense and freeze. So what will grow in size? Ice crystal will grow in size. Ice crystal will grow in size. But what has reduced? What has reduced? Has the vapor reduced or not? Vapor has reduced. And we are already at that condensation. So now the air has become unsaturated. Air has become unsaturated. So what will happen is, to bring back that saturation, the cloud droplet will evaporate. वो बैलेंस बनाना है. RH क्या करना है? 100%. So cloud droplet will turn into water vapor. How many cloud droplets will turn into water vapor? Till we reach RH is equal to 100%. So can I say, till now, whatever I have explained you, till now, ice has grown in size. Ice has grown in size, and droplets have evaporated. Yes or no? And what is the RH? RH is back to 100. But for the ice, what is the situation? 140. What will ice do? That extra vapor which has been created, what will happen? What will ice do to that extra vapor? It will consume it. Will the ice become further bigger? Ice will become bigger. It has consumed some of it. So what happens? There is a shortage of water vapor in the cloud. So who will compensate again? Who will evaporate? The droplet will evaporate. Droplet evaporates. Again, the moisture is restored. But for the ice, what is it? It is a state of supersaturation. There is a strong tendency, condense, freeze, freeze, freeze. What will happen to the vapor? Again, freeze. Can I say the clouds droplets are supplying moisture, and this is becoming ice crystal, is becoming bigger? Do we get that? Now I want to tell you, we started with cloud droplets and tiny ice crystals. We started with it. Now we are left with still cloud particles, cloud droplets, but big ice crystals. Will these big ice crystals be heavy enough to go down? When they go down, they collide with each other, they break. So one turns into 5. One turns into 5. So icing process now, will it multiply 5 times? Initially we had very few nuclei, few ice nuclei. Now is the process going to multiply? बढ़ जाएगा या नहीं बढ़ जाएगा? बढ़ जाएगा. Instead of these 3, can I say 15 will be working? Likewise, what happens is, progressively, the cloud has got many ice crystals which are large enough to start coming down. When they come down out of the cloud, they start falling. Will they heat up? Will they heat up? Yes. Ice will melt. Will they turn into drops? Drops. And drops are large enough. Drops are large enough to continue their journey to reach the ground. This is what the Bergeron process tells us. That generally what happens, that in the cold areas, at high altitude, there are few ice crystals. They act as a seed of rain, and from there rain starts. Rain triggers. Is everyone okay? एक बार फिर से पढ़ने का भी मौका मिलेगा, ये बना के दिया आपको, पूरा का पूरा प्रोसेस इज देयर. सो क्लाउड फॉर्मेशन एंड रेन आर 2 डिफरेंट थिंग्स. पहले ये समझ में आया. फ्रॉम द डायग्राम कैन यू सी ड्रॉप्स आर देयर. ड्रॉप्स छोटी होती जा रही है. कैन यू सी ड्रॉप्स आर बिकमिंग स्मॉलर एंड लेस इन नंबर, एंड हु इज ग्रोइंग इन साइज? द आइस क्रिस्टल इज ग्रोइंग इन साइज because of the properties, unique properties of water. Because the level of supersaturation with respect to ice can be very great, the growth of ice crystal is generally rapid enough to generate crystals large enough to fall. When they fall, these crystals enlarge as they intercept the cloud that freeze on them. जब नीचे जा रहे हैं, इन पर और drops भी freeze हो सकती हैं. Air movement will cause sometimes they will break up and delicate crystals will be created, more freezing nuclei. A chain reaction develops that produces many ice crystals will form into large crystals called snowflakes. When the surface temperature is above 0 or 4 degrees Celsius, snowflake usually melt before they reach. Even a summer rain may have begun as a snowstorm. So, इनका ये कहना है, they say that from a cloud, what comes out always? Snow crystal. If the temperature is more than 4 degrees Celsius, these snow crystals, they will melt on their way to form drops and they fall as rain. But if the temperature is less than 4 degrees Celsius, they will continue to come down as crystals and there they will come as snow. So what decides rain or snow? The temperature of the air that is there. Get that? यहाँ तक समझ में? तो कहां पर होता है? बर्जेरॉन. बर्जेरॉन कहां से है? बर्जेरॉन इज फ्रॉम नॉर्वे. सो ये नॉर्वेजियन स्कूल ऑफ थॉट है. नॉर्वेजियंस वर रिसर्चिंग इट. उन्होंने कहा ऐसे आता होगा. उन्होंने देखा कि वहां पर बहुत ठंडा क्लाउड होता है, उसमें थोड़े से होते हैं. Get that? Now the problem is India, Brazil. Their clouds are forming at 1 kilometer height. 1 kilometer height पर. And there is no ice crystal in them. Norway तो समझ में आता है ना? Norway के clouds have ice in them. We understand. Do we get that? But in the tropical area, subtropical area, Bergeron theory was questioned. They said that you are of the view that ice crystals are needed. Saurabh is saying sometime having ice crystal. अच्छा एक बात बताइए everyone. A cloud which is itself 6 kilometer high, either होना possible है. Yes or no? But have you heard of nimbostratus? Cumulonimbus में भी मैं मान लेता हूँ. Nimbostratus में भी तो बारिश होती है. Does nimbostratus also produce rain? Now that was a challenge. That was a question. So it was found that Bergeron theory is correct. We need to have some other theory. Get that? So everyone, there is a race. Marathon race. Airtel marathon. Get that? 5,000 people are running. 5,000 people are running in this marathon. Line में लगे हुए सब लोग. They are running. Yes or no? And everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to win. The problem is, the people, do they have the advantage or not? Do they have the advantage? वो पीछे वाले लोगों को इधर उधर से घूम के आना पड़ेगा, सबसे टकरा के फिर ही आगे निकलेगा कि नहीं? True. अच्छा, another situation can be all rows are moving at a constant speed. सब अपना अपना constant speed पे चल रहे हैं. Will anyone ever collide? In which situation will it collide? A is non-uniform and here it is constant speed. All people running a marathon at a constant speed and all people running marathon at different speeds. Where do you see chances of collision are high? So non-uniform. And does it happen in marathon? Someone will win. No, some people will slow down. थक गए यार, रुक गए, साइड में रुक गए and all that. Some of you would have participated out of जोश में. मैं भी मैराथन जा रहा हूँ, मेरी सिटी का मैराथन है. Yes or no? Some of you do have that idea. Is everyone okay? Now comes the second set of theory, which says that clouds have drops, no doubt, but drops of different sizes. They are chotu only, but different sizes. Cloud has drops of different sizes. So I know it is 10 micrometer, but can there be 15 micrometer? Can there be 7 micrometer? So cloud has drops of different sizes and on all of them gravity is acting. Different size means different weight. So if the weight of the drop is different, will they move in the cloud at the same velocity or different? Same speed or different? Will the heavier one have a tendency to move down faster? Yes or no? In the process, can they collide with the chotu one? If all were moving at a uniform speed, then that's a different story. But if you have a gravitational cloud of different sizes droplet, will they fall at different things? And can they collide? When they collide, will they become bigger or not? Yes or no? The ones which become bigger, will they move at a further higher speed or not? Can they collide further or not? This is called collision. पहले collide करेंगे and coalescence theory. That they move at different velocities, they collide and they become bigger and big enough. If a drop is big enough, it can fall on ground as rain. Is everyone okay? So ये दूसरी theory. First theory is Bergeron theory, ice crystal theory. Second theory is collision coalescence theory. Which one is correct? So it depends on the latitude. I say both of them are correct. As I told you, इस cloud में दोनों हो सकता है कि नहीं? नीचे क्या होगा? Collision coalescence, ऊपर क्या होगा? Bergeron. Can I say that ice crystal here can create all that natak? Yes or no? So both are possible. That is why meteorologists study both of them, and we have two theories possible. So is everyone okay with the Bergeron? Now I'm showing you the collision coalescence just to show you this. Chotu drop. Just the diagram will make it clear. Chotu drop, but bigger than the surrounding. Will it eat or not? It will eat the surrounding when it collides. Does it become bigger? When it becomes bigger, will it eat more? It eats more. Can it become bigger? Further bigger? And it is going down. And this is how it will. Is everyone okay? Cloud made up entirely of liquid droplet, no ice. Yes. The large droplets form the giant condensation nuclei. And they start moving down. Yes or no? Since the rate at which the fall of the drop is size dependent, giant droplet falls more rapidly. Yes or no? This increases their chance of collision. And after a million collisions, it is large enough to fall without evaporation. उधर भी एक chain reaction चाहिए था, इधर भी million collisions चाहिए, तब होगा. Do you get that? Million collisions needed for that. Then what will happen? Raindrop can grow to a maximum size of 5 millimeter when they fall at the rate of 30 kilometers per hour. इस speed से वो नीचे गिरते हैं. Can we read it from this? So collision coalescence process is not that simple. However, first the large droplet descend. They produce air streams which are similar to produced by automobile. If an automobile driven at night, analogous to cloud droplet, easy to visualize how most cloud droplets are swept aside. The large cloud droplets, better chance that it will collide. So it has to be dependent on sufficient density of drops are there. Then only it will happen. आपके लिए ये question कभी UPSC ने नहीं पूछा. UPSC has never asked this question ever. But do you understand there are two processes for raindrops to form, not cloud to form? Number one, Bergeron process in the higher and the cold latitude. What is needed? A chain reaction starts. And what happens in the chain reaction? What keeps on growing? Ice crystal keeps on growing at the cost of water droplet. So ice grows, it becomes heavy, it comes. And in collision coalescence theory, you need how many? Million collisions. Million collisions of small droplets to turn into a big droplets. Everyone, I want to end the class with this thought. Tomorrow there is no class. Please look into previous year question. Can we consolidate on the basic ones? First वाले में थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम है, ठीक है, पहली बार बताया है. I know it is new for you, so एक बार पढ़ लेंगे, फिर से पढ़ेंगे, इसीलिए वो डाला है. Second theory, they haven't included all components of cloud. What components? They are saying that there is no ice. They are talking about low clouds, no? They are saying water वाले cloud ही हैं. So Tanuj is saying Bergeron, I will repeat. अच्छा एक बात बताइए Tarun and all others, everyone. In higher altitudes and latitudes, what is required? A chain reaction. In warm latitudes, what is required? Million collisions. What will they give? A raindrop. You want to become IAS by single reading? Is it fair? अभी तो समझ ही आया है. You want to write the best answer. All MCQ correct. You must be superhuman, yaar. So you need to have revision. अभी किसी ने कहा Bergeron मान तो गए, अभी समझ नहीं आया, फिर से पढ़ेंगे ना. Now you know what is Bergeron. एक वीडियो भी देख लेंगे, उसका क्या दिक्कत? वीडियो अवेलेबल होगा कि नहीं होगा? Possible or not? I am saying all people who are listening to me, you come to the class with a very strong intention that I must learn from my teacher, content, information, knowledge, wisdom, answer writing. It won't come. But as I could see that many of you did not even try to write answers. बिना collision कैसे? Please collide. And will many of those collisions fail? They will not turn into rain. Yes or no? So all of you who feel that, oh my God, I don't get time, so much of pressure. In fact, as prelims is coming, I get so many messages every day. I'm getting depressed. ये वो सारी चीज होती है. आज आपको आंसर नहीं दे पाया, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, और रिवीजन जरूरी है. सौरभ, तो और collisions are needed. No. Today the raindrop did not reach the ground, evaporated in between. More collisions are needed. कर लो collision, who's stopping you? And remember, we were born in India, beautiful country, much better than Burundi. So be happy. I was a little strict when I was giving you feedback on your answers. I just wanted to bring home one point, that it will take some collisions. You will have to sit and write. Plain intellectualizing will not help. I will keep on bringing answer writing as and when my class is ready, and I will be looking forward to your participation with a lot of resilience of a ice crystal, like a droplet which wants to grow large enough to reach the ground without evaporating. Yes, and can we say stop impressing each other? मैं impress नहीं कर रहा था. I don't impress भाई. I know my thing. If my student doesn't understand, I'll explain also. But basic तो पढ़ो. मनीष का क्वेश्चन है कि सर वो बताइए कि वो क्यों नहीं हो रहा pollution. अरे भाई पढ़ो तो सही, आप पढ़िए तो सही. It is the most popular question भाई. Most popular, most answered question. कई तरह से आंसर कर लिया. आप उस क्लास को देखिए. What is inversion? Nobody has actually spoken to me on subsidence inversion. I gave you as homework. वो भी नहीं किया. So करिए please. So tomorrow we don't have a class. Day after tomorrow I'm starting basics of geomorphology. Is everyone okay? So geomorphology के basics हम शुरू कर रहे हैं. Just the way I brought this. Imagine if we don't know, everyone, if we don't know evaporation, condensation, and all these things, and I take you into cyclones, I take you into jet streams and other things. Will there be a challenge or not? True or not? So please have a look at them. जो भी हमने topic किया है, all the material has been uploaded, and please do that. So kindly permit printing access to notes which is uploaded on update section. बेटा वो सब access जो भी होती है मैं अपनी टीम को दे देता हूँ. They are uploading it. You can read them. I guess printing का हमने उसमें नहीं डाला है. ठीक है, चलिए. All the best. I'll share the video also. See if you get time and work on this. And be the drop. Be the drop. वो कहते हैं ना बूंद बूंद से सागर भरता है. बूंद बूंद से आसमान से बारिश होती है. New thing. ये आपको पता है because of the science of it. And again saying this is not public administration. There are certain things which are rules. So basic पहले होना चाहिए. ठीक है. Once again a request, if you have not read NCERT about circulation, do that. ठीक है, चलिए. Thank you. Bye bye. See you day after tomorrow with geomorphology.